Hello everyone, my name is Sejake Matsela, and I am reading from this small town called Monticello, which is where I live and work, and much of this writing that I'm doing here is pretty much based on my living in rural America, having come from Southern Africa, where I hail from the small country of Lesotho. One wintry afternoon, while on a leisurely meander, traversing on sparse land, a grind of pebbles beneath your feet, feeling the soggy mud sink, when spring ate its first grasses, which were primeval beside its black soils, you chose your step carefully, prancing sideways like a winterfall. Mapping a route, you scribbled on paper, circling dots at destinations where you would stop for breath, you said. Stock a pub and unwind. You looked around and nothing was apparent. It was as clear as the sky told you. As always, a thickness of air lurked. Tangible, solid, a smear of cloud hung from above, doting upon the silent ground. Then suddenly, with a startling gust of wind, a murmuration of starlings coaxed you. To begin your journey, follow on their lead, trace the sun, its yoke head west to watch to where the rays would perish. And just as you began to ponder on the length of road, which as it lay ahead of you, the heaving bulge of the earth, the hush of the trees, you inquired on a shorter route, and someone told you, take a right turn at Country Junction. Then another chipped in, a bite of tobacco in their lip. As time will dictate, they said, you will reach Christville. And both chimed in unison. Never miss the cross, they said. You noted. And so you left. Taking that onward stride, you followed the signs in the manner that time dictated. Instinct told you you would arrive by sundown. You anticipated the ember of dusk, the autumn season. It felt as though war would break. That evening, when you arrived from where the breeze came, it was sweltering heat, in the manner of a sauna, equatorial, damp to the skin, so much cloth hugged you. At the waist, your navel knotted. The umbilical strand was severed. You had absorbed the essence, and so you dozed. 7 a.m. Waking up to the silence early morning, in view of the perspiring pain, deflecting light from the darker edges, so it appeared already. The forest was breathing, the window wept an absence. Memory recalled the words, that encounter. Was it Berlin? Maybe Paris, Europe, where you had never been. But they had taken your spirit in photographs. Imagined your existence in other places, but your soul arrived, an object, ferried in a bag, an album, a magazine, a pamphlet which they kept under their bedside cabinets, touching themselves to your animus. On the east ledge, a pot plant set out its rest, doting at the freedom of the trees, its roots locked in the withered soil, thick mist hanging above its leaves. You were thinking, perhaps, a warp of time had happened. The clock stopped at a critical hour. A generation ceased growing. Daughters and sons remained in their cribs. The spoon took over from the bottle, and in the wake decades had passed. The parents were dying. I'd like to move on to another poem, which I call The Street of Gentians, Purple Flowers. It says, Lavender Road is not on the map, Violet Jansen. Come here to Ogden's Creek. A river sets two valleys apart. A prairie is on my left, and the meadow, that's for another day. There are purple flowers and tall trees, yellow flowers, even my charred bottom, facing north, my head south. Not knowing of east or west, a road runs in two lanes, I stand in the middle. The last letter told of my malarial fever. Nile was omitted. I awaited your arrival by sea. There suffered a sting. Anger puked my guts out. Flew my mind over plateaus, longing for home. Our love did not die. It was a frenzy of hallucinations. Today I picked a pill, just in case. I'm told the meadows swarm of squirrels, of deer and ticks. I want to save blood for latter times, lest I quiver in the breeze of a shameless night in fall, waiting our day on this field. Tonight, my bed's on the wilting leaves. Water slithers past like a serpent. Come watch with me our flight, the waning crescent of the moon. It glows amongst the stars. In this chill I may fade with the light. Every beat of my heart is the last warmth. Even the road bears no promise that these words will end someplace. For you I caught the flatlands. I shall perish, become your ghost. Our dream will fly with the bees. Lavender Road is not in the meadow, Violet Jansen. It is under the nod of the oak trees. It bears no address, unlike your high-rise flat in the city, where you sit by the window, facing the street, bearing all sundry and below, calling attention to the purple of your loins. Lavender Road is the street of gentians.